Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Knights Roundtable Live. It is me, Dalton Burdett, and the amazing Nick Iricchio will be joining us soon. He's dealing with a little matter with his washing machine. I went ahead and put an F in the chat to pay respects to Nick's washer, but don't worry, he will get it fixed soon, and he'll be joining on the show here shortly. But we have a very fun show for you guys today. The main topic of the day is actually box office related. Thank God we get a box office related main topic. It hasn't happened in a long time. We love the box office here, as you know. The main topic, of course, is talking about the historic drop that Sinners had in its second week. Crazy stuff. I can't wait to get to that. But first, we have some trailers to talk about. We have some movie news to talk about. All kinds of stuff to talk about, guys. And we're going to dive into it now. The amazing PowerPoint that Nick made has a certain trailer at the top. But I'm going to wait for him to join us because that's a trailer that he's excited to talk about. So I'm going to go to the second trailer. And the second trailer that we're going to talk about today, everybody, that kind of came out of nowhere, at least I didn't know it was going to come out today, is A24's The Smashing Machine. That's not the right screen. Let me get that fixed for you just a second. But yes, The Smashing Machine stars The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and it also stars Emily Blunt. It is a Jungle Cruise reunion for people who are a fan of Jungle Cruise. I know that Morgan Bernard is freaking out right now because of how big of a fan she is of Jungle Cruise. Sorry, just getting my life together here as we get this fixed up and the struggles of doing it live. Should be good. Boom, The Smashing Machine, there we go, is coming out from A24, and it is directed by one of the Safdie brothers, actually. And it's directed by Benny Safdie, who is one of the directors of Uncut Gems. It stars Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt, like I mentioned, the Jungle Cruise reunion there, and it follows the story of mixed martial artist and UFC champion Mark Kerr. It releases this fall, and Mark Kerr, as the trailer points out, is actually someone who was an early pioneer of the sport before it became really popularized, before there were rules that could really be there for the safety of other fighters. You know, it's a movie that's not uncommon in terms of the movie about the fighter and their life and how it kind of connects to pain and suffering and just the overall struggles with that. You can clearly see from the trailer there's going to be some, emotional struggles, at least with the marriage of Emily Blunt's character and Dwayne Johnson's Mark Kerr. The makeup job is insane just from the trailer alone. Now, there are some shots in some instances where I can tell it's The Rock, but there are other times, there are shots where I look at it and I completely forgot I was looking at The Rock, and I only knew just because of how massive the guy is. But it looks like he's actually going to be trying to commit and give a really great performance here, and that's really cool to see, and I hope that he can pull it off. I know that he's gone back and forth in the public eye, whether people like him or dislike him, and he has a bit of a reputation behind the scenes as well. But, the fact that he's working with one of the Safdie brothers, the fact that Benny Safdie thought of The Rock, I think is interesting in its own right. But also just, The Rock, committing to an A24 film, working with Benny Safdie, I think it's going to be an interesting step for his career, especially if he does a good job and then the movie is received well. Maybe we'll see him take less of a movie star role and more of an acting type role, which I know that the two can be mutually exclusive, but sometimes in his case, he is more of a producer movie star than an actor in that own right. But either way, I think the trailer's really good. I think the movie looks great. I love Benny Safdie. I love the people involved. Anything with Emily Blunt's got to be at least great for her part. Even in movies that suck, she's always great. I don't think I've ever seen her give a bad performance. So I think this movie looks really interesting. I think it looks good. I'm more curious than anything. I'm really curious to see how The Rock does, how this chemistry with Emily Blunt is going to remain, because clearly they have good chemistry if they're going to keep working together. And directorially, since it's only half of the Safdie brothers, I'm curious to see how Benny's side looks on his own. There's a lot of curiosity surrounding the movie that I'm excited to see, but the question is, what do you guys think? Have you seen the trailer for The Smashing Machine? Do you think it's going to be a great movie? Do you think it's going to be a weird movie? Do you think it's going to not work? Do you think The Rock is a bit over his element? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next story, and this next one is a trailer that I've been looking forward to for a really, really long time. And it finally came out today after some very, very creepy teasers. And man, this trailer rips. This is easily one of the best trailers we've seen in a while, at least in my opinion, best teaser trailer. And that's the trailer for Weapons, the new film from Cregger, the director of Barbarian, which ruled. It also stars, it stars Julia Gardner and Josh Brolin. Fun fact, Pedro Pascal was originally going to play the Josh Brolin role, but Josh Brolin eventually took it because Pedro Pascal's schedule was mad busy last year. Look at all the stuff he's in this year. And it follows a small community after 17 kids mysteriously disappear overnight, releases in theaters in August, and what the trailer points out also is that it's only in one teacher's classroom. Only students from one teacher's classroom disappear at 2:17 in the morning. And if you watch the early teasers, there's creepy like security footage of them just like all running out together at night. It looks weird and creepy. I'm a big fan, but it did give me the heebie-jeebies, as they would say. But I mean, what an effective teaser. It looks emotional. It looks dark. It looks like it's gonna have that surrealist, even maybe some comedy blend from Zach Cregger. Zach Cregger, not only Weapons had some good comedy in it, but Weapons also had. Zach Cregger is from The Whitest Kids You Know, which is one of the greatest sketch comedy groups of all time. And so, he has that comedic bone in his body. He has that funny bone. You could see him working in those elements. And through some of the quick edits at the end, you could kind of see maybe it has a comedic element to it. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's more serious. And the seriousness worked of it. And the serious parts of Barbarian were incredibly effective and looked great. That movie was shot exceptionally well. So I'm curious to see how Weapons is shot. At least from the trailer, it looks like it was going to be fine. So that's very interesting as well. Again, I'm just really hoping that the movie is good. I hope everything works out for it. And I'm getting the message now that Nicholas is now finally joining us. So let's see if he's ready to come on in. Hold for show. He's probably joining now. Let's see. There he is. Hello, my friend. Oh, I can't hear you at all. It's going to be fine, guys. It's going to be fine. We have mic problems. We've had dishwashing problems, or washer problems, excuse me. And it happens all the time. If you want to back out and join back in, maybe that'll work. Sometimes you have those days. And this is one of those days for us, too. I had a shit day at work. I'm sure Nick's going to go on as well. All right, can you hear? Can we? I heard you for a second, and then you cut off.
What the heck?
Wait, no, I got you. I can hear you.
There we go. Look at that.
Look at that. Hi, buddy.
Hi, how's it going? We're off to a great start.
Dude, not only are we off to a great start, I had such a shit day, like horrible day. And I knew, it was one of those days I knew where like it's not going to stop. Like
just going into the day, you're like, oh man.
It's just going to keep going. Like, you can feel when you're having a bad day and you're like, oh, we're going to get over this. At some point, I knew the day was going to be bad at around 8:45 in the morning when I got to work. And then at like 11:30, when it was still bad, I'm like, yeah, it's just going to be like this. It's just going to be like this all day.
It's just this. It's one of them days.
Yeah. And then, of course, just I couldn't imagine being in your situation. I aired your dirty laundry, pun intended, about how the washer broke on you. And, dude, if I was in your position, the amount of screams that I would be doing of just like, if I had something to do and then suddenly my washer broke, like I'm losing it for
suddenly
you.
There was just water filling up the floor.
Yeah, I'm sure that was really fun to deal with. Oh yeah. Man. Well, I've gone
We're here
through,
now. Where are we at?
So I went through Smashing Machine and Weapons, which I'll let you briefly touch on. I didn't even touch Now You See Me without you, because that was made for you.
Thank God.
So
thank God. I'm actually
going to go back to it here. We're going to go back to Now You See Me. Here we go. I know you're a huge fan of this franchise. You saw this poster. You saw this trailer. Just really quick details. Directed by Ruben Fleischer, who directed the first one and Venom. And it has Jesse Eisenberg, Isla Fisher, Dave Franco, and Woody Harrelson all returning in theaters this November. Nicholas, what were your thoughts on the Now You See Me, Now You Don't trailer?
I thought it was a lot of fun. It looked like they're leaning a lot more into like an action movie, like heist action, which I know the other ones had been more heisty, but like there were punches thrown and things like that, which I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they have a great cast of young actors coming in. You have Ariana Greenblatt, you have Dominic Sessa from The Holdovers, and Justice Smith, who I loved in Dungeons and Dragons, and Detective Pikachu. So, I think it was a great addition to the cast. When they first showed up, I was kind of worried that the others would only be in it a little bit, but it looks like it's just a big ensemble now, and I'm here for it. Give me magic, give me heist, give me Rosamund Pike. I am gonna have a great time.
As you should with the Now You See Me films. Before we get into the movie news, did you want to give any brief thoughts on Smashing Machine and weapons?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Smashing Machine looked incredible. I was very curious about The Rock's performance. It looks like he's going to do a great job. It was one of those things where, like, I saw The Rock in a few instances, but overall, I thought he was pretty lost in it. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's definitely going to be an interesting role for him, especially from that dramatic level. And I'm wondering if he can reach those dramatic heights, considering he's been doing a bunch of those popcorn blockbusters. But I think that Emily Blunt is an amazing actor. I think she's super strong, a super strong performer, and I think her and The Rock have a great working relationship. They worked on Jungle Cruise. They're doing this. They're going to be in that Martin Scorsese movie. So I think it makes sense for The Rock to take a role like this, knowing that he's going to have a strong support system, working with someone that he already trusts,
Mm-hmm.
deeply. So I thought it looked great. I was curious if which Safdie had the sauce, but it looks like both of them do. So I think that's going to be fun to see.
It would
And I
appear
thought
so.
Weapons just looked absolutely incredible. I'll just say
Oh,
that.
dude, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. That's one of the best teaser trailers we've had in a long time.
Absolutely. And a poster with the plot. We don't get those often anymore.
I know.
So that was fun to see. But no, I mean, a great day for trailers overall for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, and tons of them. And that's why we had to add him on the show. But guys, what did you think of the trailers for Now You See Me 3, Weapons, and The Smashing Machine? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our first news story of the day. And this one got me really excited, Nicholas. Anyone who's watched this channel for any period of time, all 11 of you, you know that Nick and I were big fans of Monkey Man. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it in your top 10 films of last year, or was it close?
No, it was in it. It made it.
Yes. And
Maybe number 8 or 9, I think. It was in there too. I
it's
don't
a
think it
great
was number
film.
10.
It's a great film, and Dev Patel now has the next film he's going to be directing lined up, which is incredibly exciting. And that film is going to be a period revenge action thriller. He's going to direct and star in it. Dude, this is music to my ears. He'll also be the writer of the film. It's produced by Thunder Road, who produced the John Wick movies. The film right now is titled The Peasant, and the project is being described as having shades of Braveheart and John Wick, as well as the notes of King Arthur as it mashes up medieval knights and feudal India. Dude, pump this fucking movie in my veins. In my veins. Are you kidding me? That sounds fucking fantastic. Ugh. I was so impressed by him in Monkey Man. You could feel the passion in that movie directorially. Like, passion bleeds through the screen. That's something that we say all the time. And it was so prevalent in Monkey Man. And I think if he has that same passion for every film he makes, you're going to feel that every time you watch one of his films. And the fact that he clearly is an action fan, which I'm obviously a big fan of as well. I love that. I love that he's mixing genres. He's mixing visual styles and tones, assumingly, if that's a word. But you know what I mean. And I'm just so excited to see what he's directing next. As soon as we walked out of Monkey Man, I was like, yep, whatever he does next, I'm in. Count me in. I'm there easily. And this just has me incredibly excited for what he's got going on. Nick, how about you?
No, I mean, I like you even said at the top of the segment, right? Monkey Man was in my top 10 last year. And again, I fully agree. Passion bleeds to the screen. I know that Monkey Man had its flaws, but on the whole, I mean, the drive and dedication and passion that he put into that project just bled through the screen for me. So, it was kind of rough around the edges, as most directorial debuts are, but I am very excited for what he does next, especially to see some of those edges smooth out as he sort of discovers his style and where he wants to take the projects that he's going for. And it looks like he's not slowing down on action. Dev Patel wants to be an action star. And by God, let's just let him. And he's got a great team behind it. And I think he's a strong writer, a strong producer, strong director. So I'm. This is just an overall win for me. I'll be honest with you.
No, 100%, 100%. I can't wait. Guys, what do you think of Dev Patel's next project? Are you excited for it? Have you seen Monkey Man? Please let us know in the comments as we move on to our next movie news story, and that is this. And this one kind of came out of nowhere. But a lot of people are familiar with the IP, I should say, of Miami Vice. It was a TV show in the 80s, I believe, and then it infamously got a film adaptation with Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx. Very famous film. Well, there appears to be a reboot in the works. There is a reboot coming of Miami Vice in the form of a movie once again, and it's being directed by Joseph Kosinski, the director of Top Gun Maverick. Dan Gilroy, who wrote Nightcrawler and episodes of Andor, will be writing the script from an early draft by Top Gun writer Eric Warren Singer. And of course, it's based on the successful TV series and the movie directed by Michael Mann, one of the best filmmakers, period. So, listen. And it's coming from the Hollywood Reporter, like the last story as well. Listen, I've, for many years now, been very pro-reboot in that the best case scenario, you have another great version of something you like. In the worst case scenario, you can just watch the version that you already like and not worry about this new one. There's some serious talent behind this, some serious talent involved. You got Dan Gilroy and Joseph Kosinski. I'm in. I'm looking forward to this. This sounds awesome as hell. Will it be better than a movie directed by Michael Mann? Probably not, but it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be better. It just needs to be good. It needs to be its own thing. And I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. And, it's one of those things where I didn't see this coming, but I'm not upset about it. How about you? Where are you at with this?
A lot of mixed feelings on it. I think my main interest and my main in comes from Joseph Kosinski.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, we have Top Gun in the air, we have F1 on the land, and now boats for the sea.
Yeah.
So Joseph Kosinski is just really wrapping that up. But I think Joseph Kosinski has a great visual style when it comes to the action of these things and the realism of that. The Top Gun in the plane, I bet F1 has these very intense, invigorating scenes. So these police shootouts and these boat chases throughout Miami, I think, are going to be stellar, and I'm very interested to see who they cast, because Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell and whatever they do is always a tough bill to follow there, and making it its own. I'm actually going to out myself as a very bad cinephile, and I just confirmed it on my Letterboxd. I have approximately seen 0 Michael Mann movies.
Fucking one.
I was like, there's no way I haven't seen any of them, but that is true. 0 Michael Mann films.
God, I'm gonna have to take off work and just come over to your house and fucking watch Michael Mann all day. It's a dream day, but I just didn't know I'd have to use my PTO this early. Jesus. Oh, dude, speaking of Michael Mann, they just made a 4K of the movie Thief. I love that movie. It might be my favorite movie of his, which I know is kind of controversial to say, but it's such a good movie with James Caan, and the movie I saw looked great. So I can't imagine how this 4K looks. It's got to look brilliant and just fucking.
So where do I start?
You got Heat, you got Thief, you got Collateral, you got Miami Vice. You could start anywhere. Even Ferrari that came out recently was still pretty good. Listen. Also, something funny, a joke around the movie nights here, as obviously we're independent filmmakers as well, and every film that I've directed, my first instinct when it comes to color grading, and I have to be shoehorned out of it later, is to just make things more blue. That is hugely in part to how Michael Mann's films look, particularly Thief. Thief is like the bluest movie, but it looks gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it so much.
That's the one with James Caan?
Yeah.
Is that where I should start?
I think you can start there. You can start anywhere, but I think Thief is a phenomenal movie. Obviously, Heat is iconic with Pacino and De Niro and Val Kilmer, but
that's getting a sequel, isn't it?
It is.
Wasn't there? There was Heat 2 in the news recently.
Collateral also with Tom Cruise, and was Jamie Foxx in that one too? I think it's Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise.
Do you think we get a Tom Cruise appearance in Miami Vice?
It's possible. I'm not going to say 0%, but I wouldn't say it's highly likely either. But yeah,
listen, it's a great premise. I think it's a little more serious than a buddy cop movie, right? Is that kind of the But I'm always down for a good action thriller in the vibrant neon landscape of Miami.
Yeah, and I can't wait to try to convince my boss tomorrow that I need a week off of work. But guys, what do you think about the Miami Vice reboot coming from Joseph Kosinski and Dan Gilroy? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our main story, and the main story happens to do with the box office.
The box office.
We almost never get main topic stories as the box office, Nicholas. This is really fun. This is really fun. But guys, if you've been following the channel recently, or if you knew, you know, Sinners is making all kinds of fucking money. But despite what people will tell you in the industry, Variety, looking at you about how you spin success, the big question was always going to be, what is going to be the second weekend drop on this movie? How is it going to hold up? Because it opened to about a little over $45 million in its opening weekend, right? Which is good, but the movie cost $90 million. So it's like, all right, this is great for an original movie, but it's going to need a little bit more than that if it wants to be really successful, even though the word of mouth was great and we had no reason to think it wasn't going to do well. And you should also know, if you watch this channel for any period of time, a 50% drop, 55, let's say, 55 to like 57 is typically standard. And if your movie drops 55, 57%, and you had a good opening weekend, that's great news. You did your job correctly. You did exactly what you were supposed to. Sinners dropped 5%.
That's crazy.
It dropped 5% from week 1 to week 2.
That was the projected
crazy.
6%.
I know. And on top of that, horror movies this year have had really good drops because Hard Eyes actually increased in its second weekend, if you recall. And we're seeing this trend continue. Now, Sinners obviously had higher amounts and bigger of a budget, but still, this is a huge win. This is one of the lowest drops for an original film in movie history, especially not around the holidays, because the holidays, people go to the movies constantly. And if you think that's where the cool box office stories end, it was a fucking hell of a week, everybody. Nicholas, do you have our predictions?
I do, yes. I forgot to add them to the PowerPoint. That is my bad.
That is okay.
We have, Dalton, you had Sinners, Accountant 2, Star Wars Episode 3, Minecraft, and King of Kings. I had Sinners, Minecraft, Accountant, Star Wars, King of Kings.
Look at that. We were both wrong as shit.
What a concept.
Sinners came in first, dropping 5%, making $45.7 million in its second week. Coming in second place, barely, but still second, with $25.4 million. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, in its 1,041st week. Great job.
What a bump.
The Accountant 2 came in third, making $24.5 million in its opening weekend. A Minecraft movie came in fourth with $22.7 million in its fourth week. And Until Dawn came in fifth, making $8 million in its opening weekend.
Until Dawn came out?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How about that?
And we're going to dive into these numbers a little bit more, and then, of course, we'll wrap it up more to talk about Sinners and what a huge achievement this is. Speaking of Sinners, it now has $168 million worldwide on a budget of 90. It's already at 1.9 times that budget. This time next week, that bitch is profitable. Easily.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
But I thought it had a long way to go.
Dude, 128 of that is domestic. That's insane.
That's wild.
Insane. Great job for Sinners. Star Wars Episode 3, adding to its worldwide box office total, it is now up to $893 million worldwide. And its production budget in 2005 was $115 million. So it's at 7.8 times that production budget. Good for them. The Accountant 2 now has $39 million worldwide, and that leaves it at about 0.5, almost half of that $80 million production budget. That number is a bit high for a movie like The Accountant. It'll have a little bit while to go. But guess what I didn't see in Variety when this movie opened? I didn't see them talking about the path it needs to take to profitability, Nicholas. Isn't that weird?
How strange.
Even though it was made for $10 million less. Anyway.
It opened roughly the same as the first, you said, right?
Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, but the first was made for $40 million.
Yeah.
A Minecraft movie has $815 million worldwide. It might not get to that billion, but I think it's going to get close regardless. And
you don't think it's got another 200 in it?
I think it could. It could.
Yeah.
But we also have Thunderbolts coming out and summer movie season getting kicked off, so we'll see.
That's true. That's true.
We'll see. But had a
DVD
production
streaming sales alone.
Yeah. Production budget has 150 million and the worldwide box office is 5.4 times that budget. Huge one for Warner Brothers with this and Sinners. Go DeLuca and Abdi, we love you. And Until Dawn now has $18 million worldwide on a budget of 15. It's at 1.2 times the budget. We'll see how its hold is week to week. Hopefully it can be profitable. I love David F. Sandberg. I want him to make more movies, so we'll have to see. I haven't seen the movie myself personally. I've heard mixed things, but I do want to see it.
Yeah, I don't think the Rotten Tomatoes came out too strongly.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. But the whole point of this also is to talk about Sinners.
Yes.
We knew this was going to happen. Now, I didn't think it was going to have this good of a hold. I thought it would drop like maybe 20%.
Mm-hmm.
5 is fucking crazy. That's insane, dude. And the fact that it was able to do it, and it looks like it's not slowing down anytime soon. I mean, obviously it's going to slow down a little bit because we have Thunderbolts coming out. Thunderbolts is going to take a massive opening, probably somewhere around 60 to 80 million. But I still think this might drop only 50% next weekend, which puts it in the 20s for its third week on an original movie. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. And just the box office alone, 4 movies, 4 of the top 5, opened to over $20 million. Do you know how long it's been since we've eaten this good, box office-wise? These theaters are rolling in cash right now.
Oh, yeah. Theaters are happy.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I just hope The Accountant 2 doesn't have a huge drop. I want that to make money really bad. I'd like the third one, please.
Because we need Accountant Cubed.
Oh my God, yes. But Nicholas, thoughts on just the success for Sinners, and does this small drop surprise you?
I mean, the small drop doesn't surprise me. The extremeness of the drop does surprise me. I with you, I was maybe expecting a 20-25% drop just to be very positive on it, but this is just a massive success. I mean, it's an excellent movie. I think this drop and how audiences are receiving it, I think that this is going to be, we'll see how the rest of the year pans out, right? But I could see this one carrying itself to through award season easily. Especially, I mean, Everything All at Once, I mean, it went to win the whole thing, but that was an early release as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a great step in the right direction for original cinema. I think Ryan Coogler, again, has just solidified himself as just go see whatever the fuck he does next.
Yeah.
And I think that it's hopefully studios take note of just sort of the original, the director's vision, and things of that nature moving forward. Because 5% is just, it's got to be historic, right? Like that.
Oh, it is. It is. And it's they need to give him an Oscar as a apology for Creed. I'll say it, justice for Creed. But not only that, but like just the fact, I'm just so happy for him and his success. Like, he was already a great filmmaker. He was already a $1 billion filmmaker. Now he's solidifying his name up there with the Tarantinos, the Nolans, the Villeneuves, to like be able to have this huge creative integrity and creative vision that actually gets funded. So I'm really happy for that. I think, to challenge your view on the award season, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. However, this has genre working against it, where Everything Ever All at Once did not. Now, that doesn't mean it won't be completely shut out, because you have movies like Get Out that came out in March and then ended up doing well at the Oscars with nominations, and it won a screenplay award. It could happen here as well. But
what about like Substance? That was more of a genre than anything.
But it wasn't in March.
It was not in March. Well, I'm not saying it's gonna go and take the whole thing. I'm just saying I would not be shocked if it pops up in a few categories.
Oh, and I want it to. I want it to pop up in all of the categories. Let me be clear.
Listen, I agree.
But
I agree.
I think categories that are for sure are going to be original score, costume design, production design. Like, I think technical, of course, cinematography, the 70mm beautiful looking film. I think that's up for debate as well. I would love to see Ryan get some for writing and directing, honestly. But those are going to just be, we got to see what comes out this year and see what's up for competition. I think what Warner Brothers should do is re-release the movie in 70mm IMAX at the end of the year. I think that would be really great, not only for an awards push, but just so I have the chance to see it so that I can go watch it selfishly, because I don't think I'll be able to catch it in 70, because I think Thunderbolts takes all the IMAX screens next week. But anyway, I'm just happy with this movie. You love to see a movie that's great and deserves success succeed. And that's what we're seeing right now. And I can't wait to see how the final profitability numbers are going to be. And just, I love movies. I love being in this circle. But what's always fun is that there are a lot of movies from great filmmakers like Sinners, like filmmakers like Edgar Wright, filmmakers like Darren Aronofsky, that make great films that rave in the film circle, but they just don't break that bubble to pop cultural zeitgeist, into pop culture. And Sinners, it happened in like 2 days. Like it made it to pop culture very fast. And like that is so cool to see. It was in the film circle for like 48 hours. And then boom, pop culture got a hold of it. And you love to see that happen to great films. And it doesn't get to happen all the time. So it's nice to be able to go to work to people who are not film people and bring up Sinners and hear, for lack of a better word, normies be like, oh my God, what a great movie. And you're like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Yes. It's so great.
No, I agree. It was, I mean, we got to go to an early screening of it, and our jaws were just on the floor. We were like, oh, this is gonna be big, and it was a great experience, and just to see it take that leap is just great to see. I hope it encourages more people, as you call them, the normies, to get out to the theaters more, start exploring some more cinema in that regard, as well, instead of coming out for like the big popcorn blockbuster picks.
Yeah, no, 100%. And let this be and this might be an unpopular thing to say, but let this be a message to artists as well, to auteur filmmakers, to people who are more on that award season circuit. Don't be afraid to throw some genre into your movie. Genre and artistic merit are not mutually exclusive. And Ryan Coogler being able to balance a deep movie with dark themes, cultural exploration, and vampires, you can do it. And you can do it well. And he's not the first person to prove this, by the way. He's just the latest. And, people need to start doing that. Like Spielberg. Look at Spielberg's whole career. He made genre movies just at a level that no one could make them. Like the artistic merit behind those blockbusters are crazy. And, you're seeing the next wave of that. And that's exciting. It's very exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting indeed.
Yes. But guys, that'll do it for today's show.
Wait.
Oh, wait, our predictions.
We have to do predictions, sir.
Oh, you're right. And I'll let you go first.
Oh, wow. Very kind. Is anything coming out against Thunderbolts?
I'm about to tell you as soon as I pull this up. I mean, it would not be wise. Let's see.
Is Star Wars going to stay in theaters for a bit, or was that like a limited thing?
I think it was just doing it for a week.
Okay, so probably shouldn't account for...
Oh, the Surfer comes out, but it's not going to be a...
Oh, the Nick Cage movie?
Yeah.
No shit.
It's not going to be a big money maker, though.
No.
Yeah, no. It's just Thunderbolts, really.
I'm going to go... See, this is hard. Does Until Dawn hold? Or does King of Kings, does it drop more? I'm going to go...
The King of Kings, just to help you give like an educated guess, King of Kings dropped 76% from week 2 to 3. I'm
going to go Thunderbolts. I'm going to go Sinners.
I'm
going to go Accountant 2, Minecraft, and Until Dawn.
I am going to go... I'm going to go Thunderbolts, Sinners, The Accountant 2, just for the fuck of it. Until Dawn, a Minecraft movie.
Ooh.
This makes no sense to do that. I just want to see it. I just want to see it happen.
I didn't know the Surfer was coming out. I'm going to have to try to get out to go see that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
By the way, guys.
I think Until Dawn's really taken a hurt because of how good Sinners is.
Probably. By the way, guys, speaking of Thunderbolts, our review is now out on the channel. You can watch it and please do so. Leave a like and a comment on there. We're like just over 20 subscribers away from 5,000, guys, so help us get there. That'd be a lot of fun. And finally, now actually for real this time, with that, that's the end of the show today, guys. We'll have another show for you out sometime this weekend. It'll either be Friday or Saturday. I'm still figuring that out. I got my brother-in-law is graduating college this weekend, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see how it goes for the show. But until then, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.